Wow. Much bigger than I thought it was. I knew the size of it, I could see it written down, but somehow it seems even bigger to me, even fuller, full of life. Full of life. The more wonderful it is, and how cinematic. You know, I think Rembrandt, wouldn't he have been a great film director? Fantastic. First impressions, wow, what a thing. Absolutely incredible. It's the only Rembrandt of its kind in the whole world, in the sense that it's a 3/4 finished painting. It's as if someone got into his studio, managed to film Rembrandt at work, and then managed to freeze frame the camera at the moment when he'd almost but not quite finished the picture, and that's what survives here. It's the only one like it. And you can tell, for example, if you look at the disciples on the right, they're not finished. Christ is more finished. The figures on the left in the midground are more finished. We know that Rembrandt worked his pictures from back to front, so the figures at the front are less realised than those at the back. And at the back, what's the standout? It's the great giveaway. Anybody who failed to attribute this painting in the first place must be kicking themselves if they didn't notice him, because there he is, young Rembrandt, looking out at us with this intense, urgent stare, as if to say to us, this scene is really important. What I'm painting here really matters. So what is he painting? What's the subject? Well, it comes from the New Testament. Jesus is being followed everywhere by multitudes. And on this day in particular, he's being followed by multitudes of mothers who want him to bless their children. And the disciples rebuke those women and tell them not to do it. Jesus is busy, he's busy. But he says to them, no. He rebukes them. And he says, suffer little children, forbid them not to come unto me, for of such is the kingdom of heaven. I will bless the children. Now, this was a really pointed subject to paint in Holland in the 1620s, because the Orthodox Calvinist regime, they preached that predestination was the rule. God had decided everything in advance. And if a child were to die in childbirth or in infancy, they would tell the Dutch mothers of the time, I'm sorry, your child is not with God. So Rembrandt is siding. He's siding with the dissidents, he's siding with the Remonstrants, the Mennonites, the Catholics, all of those who argue against the official church position that children are blessed and will go to heaven. This was a pressing issue at the time. And I think that partly explains the intensity of this scene. But what I'm just going to get a bit closer. The other thing that I notice about the painting, which I think is like a really important aspect of it, is it's so crowded. I mean, it's maybe one of the first great Rembrandt crowd scenes, and boy, he could do a crowd scene. But you have the sense that the people are spilling into this picture from out there, through that arch. Leiden, where Rembrandt was in 1627 when he started this painting and never quite finished it, was undergoing an extraordinary humanitarian crisis, along with much of the rest of Europe. Hundreds of thousands of people were flooding into the Dutch Republic as refugees. They've estimated that Leiden took something like 10,000 refugees in that 1 year. As Rembrandt is painting this crowd scene, this crowded scene of Christ welcoming children, welcoming families. This was very controversial at the time. There were people in Leiden who didn't want to welcome them. So what we can tell from this is that Rembrandt and his friends, his people, the people for whom he was painting this picture or planned this picture, they are on the side of humanitarian relief. They're on the side of the suffering children. So it's more than just a painting. I think it's a statement of Rembrandt's moral position, of his sympathy. One of the things this picture shows us very clearly is that from early in his career, Rembrandt was a great believer in home cooking, in the sense that he paints the people he knows, he paints the people who are around him and uses them in his pictures, which is intensely practical and I think rather moving. Here, that for my money is surely Rembrandt's mother. That figure could be his sister or perhaps a midwife, but she certainly appears in a number of pictures. This chap, I recognise him from a number of pictures, and of course, the dead giveaway is Rembrandt himself at the back, staring out at us. There he is, a snapshot of Rembrandt at this pivotal moment in his career. He's achieved mastery, but he's got so much more to come, and within a short period of time he'll be in Amsterdam and reaching a whole new audience, on the brink of national fame. Most people know that Rembrandt was profoundly influenced by Caravaggio. It's a commonplace, but a lot of people think that's not apparent in his early work, but I'd say that this is actually extremely Caravaggesque, but in a rather subtle way, partly in the drama of the picture, that sense of a really important instant of time, which is enhanced by the self-portrait. That's a very Caravaggesque touch, a self-portrait. Think of the martyrdom of St. Matthew, think of the betrayal of Christ in the National Gallery of Ireland. No, I think it's such a moving, such a personally felt picture. I think Rembrandt really means that self-portrait at the top. He wants us to look at it because this is an important painting. For me, I just remember sitting next to a friend of mine at the National Gallery exhibition of late Rembrandt, and he just said to me, he's surrounded by Rembrandt paintings, and he said, Rembrandt's all about love, isn't he? He's all about love. And I think this picture shows us he was all about love from the start. He's a painter who says yes. He says yes to life. He says yes to, helping those in need. Yes to, greeting other people with your heart. Yes to Jesus saying, suffer the little children. I think it's a wonderful document of who this wonderful artist was.